Hey, everybody, and welcome back. Ready for some more trending tidbits. We're going to be diving into some fascinating stuff today.
Yeah,
Stuff that's going to make you think a little differently.
absolutely.
We're all about those little nuggets of knowledge, you know?
Yeah.
The ones that just stick with you.
Oh, for sure.
And today,
Yeah,
we're going to be talking about something that's kind of close to home for everybody, I think.
definitely.
Selfishness.
It's something we all struggle with to some extent,
Right.
you know?
Kind of like this weird thing.
Yeah.
Society pushes us to be successful.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, get ahead, achieve all your goals,
Be the best you can
be the best you can be, right?
Right.
But then there's this other side of it
Uh-huh.
where it's like,
Yeah.
well, if you're too focused on yourself,
Yeah,
what happens to everyone else?
exactly. That's the thing. It's
Yeah.
this weird balance. And,
Yeah.
you know,
Right.
we were looking at this master class
Yeah, this masterclass article.
on how to stop being selfish.
And I got to say,
Mm-hmm.
I was a little skeptical at first.
Yeah.
I thought, oh, this is going to be like some finger-wagging lecture.
Right. Like, be a better person.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
But it wasn't like that at all.
No, not at all.
It was actually really interesting and
Yeah.
surprisingly relatable.
I think it's because we all can relate to this.
Yes.
You know?
Have you ever had those moments where it's just like,
Oh, all the time.
me?
Especially in this day and age.
Yes.
Yes.
Like our culture,
It's all about the individual. Right?
it's all about the
Okay,
individual.
yeah.
So it's easy to fall into that trap.
It is. And this masterclass thing, it really helped me see
Yeah.
how that selfishness, it's not just about being a good person or a bad person.
Uh-huh.
It actually
Yeah.
like
It impacts everyone.
it impacts everyone.
Yeah.
It hurts the people around you,
For sure.
but it also hurts you.
Right. It's like
Like,
this,
the long run.
yeah, this negative
Mhm.
cycle.
You're not really connecting with people.
Right.
You're not building relationships.
No.
And you're missing out on all the good stuff that comes with that.
Like what kind of stuff?
Well, like a sense of community, you know,
Oh, yeah.
feeling supported.
The support system.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, it can even impact your career.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like if you're always looking out for number one, people
Mhm.
are going to notice.
Yeah.
They're not going to want to collaborate with you.
Oh, that's true.
You get a reputation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's really important to
Mhm.
be aware of those tendencies and,
And manage them.
yes, exactly.
So how do we actually do that, though?
So this masterclass article,
Yeah.
it had these 7 tips.
Okay, 7 tips for not being selfish.
Right. And
So-
we probably don't have time to go through all of them,
Okay.
but we can hit on a couple that I think are really interesting.
Okay, perfect.
One that stood out to me was practicing active listening.
Active list. Yeah. You know how we always hear that?
Oh, yeah, it's like a buzzword.
Yeah. But what does it actually mean in terms of selfishness?
Right.
It's not just about waiting for your turn to talk.
Ah.
It's about really turning in to the other person,
Oh,
understanding their perspective, their emotions, even if you don't agree with them.
so it's like you're putting their needs
Yeah.
above your own in that moment.
In a way, yeah, it's about shifting the focus from yourself to the other person.
Okay.
And when you do that,
Yeah.
something really interesting happens. You actually start to break down those selfish barriers.
Oh.
It creates this space for genuine connection.
So it's not just about being polite.
No, it's deeper than that.
It's about really like
Yeah,
connecting with another human.
exactly. And that's something that selfishness really prevents,
That's true.
you know?
Yeah.
So by practicing active listening, you're kind of rewiring your brain to be more outward focused.
I like that.
Yeah.
Rewiring your brain.
It's like a mental exercise.
Yeah.
Okay, so another tip that I thought was super interesting
Yeah.
was cultivate gratitude.
Gratitude.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see how gratitude makes you feel good,
Uh-huh.
but how does
Yeah.
that make you less selfish?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
So when you focus on what you're grateful for,
Uh-huh.
it shifts your attention away from what you lack.
Oh. Okay, like you're not focused on
Yeah,
what you don't have.
exactly.
You're focused on what you do.
Right, and that can be anything.
Okay.
It could be your health, your relationships, your job, even just like a beautiful day.
Yeah.
And when you cultivate that sense of gratitude,
Uh-huh.
you're less likely to fall into that trap of constantly wanting more,
Oh.
which is a big driver of selfish behavior.
That's true. You're content
Yeah,
with what you have.
Yeah.
Okay, so these tips, they sound great in theory,
Uh-huh.
but how do we actually put them into practice in our everyday lives?
Well, and let's say you're at work and a colleague presents an idea that you just completely disagree with.
Uh-huh.
Instead of immediately shutting them down,
Okay.
Try practicing active listening.
Oh,
Really try to understand where they're coming from.
yeah?
What are their goals?
Okay.
You might find some common ground,
Okay.
or even come up with a better solution together.
So it's like turning a conflict into a collaboration.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
Right. Or let's say you're in a relationship
Uh-huh.
and your partner is feeling stressed or overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Instead of getting annoyed,
Oh, right.
try practicing gratitude.
Yeah.
Think about all the things you appreciate about them
Uh-huh.
and how lucky you are to have them in your life.
Wow.
It can really shift your perspective.
So it's like you're choosing
Yeah,
to focus on the positive
exactly.
instead of the negative.
Yeah, and that can make a huge difference
That's true.
in any relationship.
So it's not always easy to be selfless.
Oh, definitely not.
But is it ever okay to be a little bit selfish?
That's a really good question.
Yeah.
And it kind of ties into the idea of self-care, which
Yes.
is so important.
Right.
But it's a fine line.
Between self-care and selfishness.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Sure.
Self-care is about taking care of your own needs.
Uh-huh.
So you can be your best self,
Okay.
but it becomes selfish when you start disregarding the needs of others.
Right.
So it's all about finding that balance.
That balance.
Yeah.
Okay, so the big takeaway here is that we all have selfish tendencies.
We do. It's normal.
It's part of being human.
But we don't have to let them control us.
Exactly.
We can choose to be more mindful,
Yeah.
more compassionate, and more connected with the people around us.
And when we do that,
Yeah,
everyone benefits.
absolutely. So I challenge everyone listening
Uh-huh.
to pick just one of these tips we talked about
Yeah.
and try it out this week.
Just one.
Just one.
See what happens. You might be surprised at how much of a difference it makes.
I think you will.
Not just for you,
Yeah,
but for everyone around you.
absolutely.
Until next time, stay curious,
And keep learning.
and we'll see you back here for more trending tidbits soon.
Sounds good.